friend's house, a co-worker's house, family, and then some. We have probably more than we've experienced in the past. People actually leaving Miami-Dade County. Our police department, and in conjunction with Florida Highway Patrol, is keeping the I-95 and the Florida Turnpike, which are really the two main ways north out of our county, open as much as possible. And so right now we don't hear we're experiencing any problems with people leaving. But tomorrow is a different story. I think tomorrow, as more people try to leave the area, not only here in South Dade, but in Dade County, but throughout the state, I think that may become problematic. That's why we are telling our residents that if you're leaving, you better leave today. If you want to leave tomorrow, I think it's better for you just to stay in place, find a place, find one of our shelters to ride out the storm. We don't want you to be stuck in the middle of a highway during a major hurricane. Yeah, Mayor Jimenez, I appreciate it. Thanks very much. Good luck to you and everybody else there. Just ahead, we'll go live to the Florida Keys, where not everyone is following evacuation orders. The question, of course, why not? We'll talk to Bill Weir, who's there. And later, the Russia probe and yet another stunner. Donald Trump Jr. talking today to Senate investigators and giving yet another version of his meeting at Trump Tower with all those Russians.
I count on my Dell Small Business Advisor for tech advice. With one phone call, I get products that suit my needs, and I get back to business.
Being a firefighter can be a pretty physically demanding profession. On the drop of a dime, you have to be ready to go. So a big part of the fire service is staying mentally and physically prepared. My name's Ryan Sutter, and I'm a lieutenant at Vail Fire Department. I started out in professional sports. I have lots of pains from my football days. In the fire service, you can't schedule when somebody needs you. So I maintain a pretty rigorous fitness schedule, and I stay on top of minor aches and pains with products like Aleve. The fire service is filled with people who fundamentally care about others. People who are willing to go into situations that most people wouldn't go into. It takes someone that's willing to give up some of themselves to help.
This is Joanne. Her long day as a hairstylist starts with shoulder pain when, hey Joanne, want to trade the all-day relief of 2 Aleve with 6 Tylenol?
Give up my 2 Aleve for 6 Tylenol? No thanks. For me, it's Aleve.
It's time for some straight talk. When it comes to wireless plans, everyone is different. Some people are big-time data users, others not so much. Straight Talk Wireless has plans of all sizes, like their newest, with the first 2 gigs of high-speed data for just $35 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data, all on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. Big or small, everyone saves with Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts, only at Walmart.
Oh no! Your shower drain is clogged, your bathroom pipe is plugged, and the odor coming from the sink is embarrassing. Stop drain clogs and stinky sinks with SaniSticks, the concentrated drain cleaning and sanitation sticks that you drop in the drain once a month, where they dissolve over time to stop backups, clogs, and nasty odors. Drop in a SaniStick once a month in the kitchen sink, bathroom sinks, utility room sink, bathtub drains, mop sinks, and anywhere you want to keep water flowing without plugged pipes and embarrassing odors. Available at these fine retailers.
Register today at Elite Singles, where you'll benefit from 100% verified profiles, an extensive personality test, and tailored matches in your area. EliteSingles.com. Never more ready to fall in love again.
Steve was born to move. Over the course of 9 days, he walks 26.2 miles. That's a marathon. Because he chooses to walk whenever he can. And he does it with support from Dr. Scholl's. Only Dr. Scholl's has massaging gel insoles that provide all-day comfort to keep him feeling more energized. So he even has the energy to take the long way home. Keep it up, Steve. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
We're getting a lot of different perspectives on just how powerful Hurricane Irma is. I spoke with Air Force Reserve Flight Meteorologist Major Jeremy DeHart, who flew into the storm. Major, you flew into the hurricane last night. You still have planes up right now. What's going on with this storm? Is it maintaining its strength?
It is, actually, and it's kind of unprecedented that it is maintaining its strength. It's such a strong storm. Irma's been a Category 5 for almost 3 days now, and it's the strongest strongest storm to come out of the Atlantic on record in the Atlantic Ocean. So it's pretty amazing that it's been able to maintain its strength for this long.
What about its organization? I mean, any signs that it may be slowing down at all?
The forecast track has been pretty spot on the last couple of days. The National Hurricane Center's had it at a pretty continuous speed, forward motion, and it's held that. It looks like it will begin to slow as it approaches southern Florida before it makes that turn. But that's being forecasted by the National Hurricane Center through their products as well.
What was your flight like?
Pretty intense. Category 5 storms are rare. Some of us could go our entire careers in this line of work without seeing one and flying through one. So just immediately as you start flying through the storm, you recognize the power of it, and you're flying through. It can be relatively smooth until you get to the eye wall area, and that's when you start really getting jostled around, go completely obscured with cloud cover and rain. And then what's unique about these major hurricanes is as soon as you hit that eye wall, you punch through that and it just opens up into the clear blue sky and calm winds. So it's pretty incredible.
You talked about you could feel the power of the storm as you were flying through it. How do you feel that in an aircraft?
One example is there's something that we call slip. And so when you're flying through the storm, you're trying to fly in at a straight line, but you're getting blown from the side so much, so we have a slip. So we were at about 35 degrees slip, which means to maintain a constant heading, we had to fly 35 degrees pointed the other direction. So that's just one example of how extremely strong the storm is.
Well, Major, I appreciate all the work you and everybody is doing right now. So thank you so much for talking to us.
Okay, thank you.
The governor of Florida said in no uncertain terms earlier today, if you're in the Florida Keys, get out now. Not everybody's heeding that advice. Bill Weir is in Key Largo. He joins us now. I understand you're on you're on a boat, and you met someone who's not going to leave, who's planning on actually riding out the storm.
Not only not going to leave the Keys, Anderson, not going to leave his boat. Of all the places to ride out this potential Category 5 hurricane, imagine being on a 50-foot sailboat called the Salt Shaker, which is, sort of rings true to the Jimmy Buffett vibe down here. But this will be the storm shelter for a guy by the name of Rich Cunningham. Good to meet you, Captain.
Hey, good to meet you, too. Good to meet you, too.
But I have to ask you on behalf of America, are you crazy? Have you seen what's out there?
We've seen what's out there. We just feel confident that it's going to do what it's projected to do. We've seen the latest models, and we feel they're going to be far enough east of us so that we can withstand that kind of a hit. We're looking at a back-end wind pushing our boats out instead of a front with waves and the surge, and we feel like we've done our work here. They're not just tied up boats. These are...
It's not just ropes and an anchor against 185 mile-an-hour winds.
Well, these boats are built to ride them out.
But you were explaining, at this point you got to make the calculation. Do I risk the gas lines, running out of gas on the turnpike? All of these are calculations when from afar it seems like just get out of there.
Right. We feel like this is the smart play. We're going to stay here. We're going to ride it out. We've got a lot of friends and neighbors. There's at least 12 to 14 other boat owners here that are full-time liveaboarders that are here protecting their property and their way of life. And I'm here to lend a hand with them, and they're here to do the same with me.
Now, I understand this is known as a pretty good hurricane hole. You're sort of protected from the surge, so the waves in this harbor may not be. But if things get really dicey, do you have somewhere to go?
I mean, the final hour, it's crunch time. The bailout plan would be, if it's that tight and the storm's right on top of us, we have the building here itself, the marina. And we are more than welcome to hang and chill out here.
That's made of wood, Rich. That's your plan B?
This is some of the highest ground in Tavernier here as well.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I mean, if it's looking just grim and we went the early bailout, we can just shoot to head south, head to Key West if the storm's going to be skirting it this way.
Right.
Not really with too much of a game plan other than heading in that direction.
Yeah.
And just getting away from it.
Now, you're a New Jersey guy, right? This has been a dream of yours.
I'm a Wildwood, New Jersey guy.
Okay. But talking to some of the old salts, the conks who've been living down here forever, they talk about how when Andrew went through, these boats here were fine, even though it was one of the most.
Absolutely.
It seems to me the mentality is based